The niacin flush is really well known for helping the firefighters from 9/11 get a lot of the toxicity that they were exposed to out of their bodies. And the way it works is that you take a whole lot of niacin and then get into the sauna and spend hours in the sauna. But what was discovered is that, and in so doing, you release all of this heavy metal radiation, all the depth of the toxicity that could get into the tissues through sweating and through the colon. But a few things about this. There's a lot to know, a lot to know. The way I've sort of restructured the protocol is, I believe, way more effective than what was initially presented, and it works so well. What was initially, what the firefighters were using, of course, works so well at higher level. Let me not say completely cleansed, but to say a significantly detoxified level through the niacin flush with the infrared sauna. But that aside, the original protocol was to take the niacin. I'm not going to discuss quantities here on this podcast, but to take quantities of niacin, very, very high quantities of niacin, and then go into the sauna for 5 to 6 hours, which is a very long time. Basically means dedicating yourself for 30 days to 5 to 6 hours of being in the sauna with the niacin, and you just expunge and you purge and you'd sweat the stuff out. It worked. It really worked. But here's the thing: the quantity of waste that could be carrying the radiation and the heavy metal and all this other exposure out of the body is really coming through the large intestine. So to do the niacin flush with not just a regular sauna, but an infrared sauna, again, thoughts from the sauna, and then to be using the Enlightener would be the be-all, end-all. If one is going to embark on the niacin flush, to do so without significant colon cleansing, equal to the days of the niacin flush itself, I believe is really undermining the potential of what the niacin flush can achieve. So the way I do it is I take the niacin, and then you want to exercise for about 20 to 30 minutes. You can jump on the rebounder, or you can do whatever you do to exercise, 20 to 30 minutes. And then you jump in the infrared sauna, which you only have to stay in for about 40 minutes as opposed to 4 to 5 to 6 hours. And then you've got your bachi cups, your bachi bella cups, the suction cups that I use in the sauna. I'll tell you more about them maybe in another podcast, and then you're able to really work on the fascia as you sweat out these toxins, and then you can take activated charcoal or zeolite afterward to absorb what may have been released during that time taking the niacin and being in the infrared sauna right after that. But the next day you want to be using your Enlightener or your whatever home enema situation you have, or if you're seeing a professional colon hydrotherapist, it could get expensive to be going to a professional colon hydrotherapist every day after you do a niacin sweat. So that's why I always just think it's the most expedient thing in the world to have the Enlightener, because it's the most thorough elimination tool there is, and you have it on tap. So when I think about the original niacin protocol versus this one that I've put together, incorporates everything. Dr. Yu, a wonderful doctor who explored niacin further, was the one who figured out the connection between exercising and integrating the infrared sauna. But still, there's no talk of colon cleansing. It's still, it's everyone seems to want to. It's the elephant in the room, and nobody seems to even see it. It's crazy, but the waste removal is everything. So the niacin flush can be hugely beneficial, but it's so underutilized. The potential is not realized until the elimination of waste through the colon is given equal weight, let's say, allow the pun. All right, so that is what I've been doing for the last couple of weeks, is my version of the niacin sweat, infrared sauna, exercise, niacin, activated charcoal, Enlightener. Powerful stuff.